Hey guys, it's Mr. Hing here. I hope you're all well. Today is such a special day for me because it is my first grade 10 video that I'm making, and I'm sure down the years I'll look back and just find this video and be like, wow, this was the first video that I ever made for grade 10. So thank you so much guys for watching, and I really hope that it's helpful. Why I wanted to make this video for my first video is because I know that in the year planner for you guys this year is that trigonometry graphs are coming up. So I really wanted to just make some videos so that if you are missing something in class, you'll be able to just have a look at these videos, and it can bring some good clarity and some understanding. Okay, so why don't we get straight into it? Okay, the first video for grade 10. Right, so as I just said, we are going to be dealing with trigonometry graphs, and when something's quite new, it can seem tricky and weird, but guys, it's really not that bad. Okay, just follow along in the playlist that I made for grade 10 trig graphs and you'll be okay. So there are firstly 4 things that I want to start off with noting, okay, when it comes to trig graphs. So number 1, you have a y-axis, right? A y-axis over here, just like last year where you have 1, 2, 3, negative 1, 2, 3. They're just like that in your normal units, like that. And then when it comes to your x-axis, guys, there is still technically an x-axis, but it is actually now in degrees. You'll see there's 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and so on. And then there's negative, you can't see that negative there, but negative 90, negative 180, and so on. So that is the difference between trig graphs, or how you're going to kind of draw or write or lay out trig graphs with regards to your axes. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Then number 2 is that when you are doing trig graphs, please, the first thing you should do is get out your calculators. Okay, it's going to be your best friend when doing trig questions, trig graph questions. Okay, so, and especially when asked to draw them, okay, please use it. It is your best friend. Number 3, there are not different forms, I don't want to say that, but when you get a sine graph. Oh, I left out the x's here, sorry. If you have sine x, and x. So when you get a graph or an equation for the graph, you'll see that there can be a number in front of the sine, cos, and tan, and also there can be a number afterwards. So for instance, I'll just give a really random example. You can get y equals 2 sine plus 3, and we'll get to what these numbers represent because they are so important, and this. Okay, so that's what I wanted to, I don't know if they really use the word forms, but I just wanted to highlight to you that there can be numbers in front and numbers afterwards, which does affect the graph. Okay, but I'll get to that in later videos. And then number 4, guys, to take note of these 4 terms. They are extremely important. They love asking questions about domain, range, period, and amplitude, which I will explain in later videos. It's not that bad. Okay, and my goal is to not make these videos very long, because once you get it, you will really get it, and I just want them to be small portions so that you can take them in nicely. Okay, why don't we go in and start with our first graph, which is going to be the sine graph or sin graph today. Okay, so let's have a look. So the question, or what I'm showing you, is how to draw a normal standard sine graph, or sine or sin graph. Okay, so this is the form that it takes. Let's just study it together over here. Okay, let's study it together. So firstly, what does it say over here? So it says the graph must represent where the x values are included with negative 360 degrees all the way up until 360 degrees. So show me where the graph occurs between and including negative 360 and 360. So that's what this means whenever you see this in a test, because usually in a test they can say, well, maybe show it to me from the 0 to let's put 180. Then you must draw the graph only from 0 to 180. So that's what this means, guys. I'll try and refer to that each and every time in every video. Secondly, I wanted to show you that this is the form of a standard sine or sin graph, this over here. Now, you're thinking, Mr. Hing, how the heck did you get that? How do you know that? Well, I'm going to explain that to you. So, what you are going to do, guys, please listen carefully, is that you follow this step number, or this second note that I wanted you to note down, is use your calculators when asked to draw, and how to draw a standard sine graph. Again, Mr. Hing, why are you saying standard? Because there is nothing in front of this sign here, and there's also no +2, -2, anything. So there's basically, what I'm trying to say is there's nothing affecting a normal sine graph. That's why I'm saying it's standard, if you hear what I'm saying. So let's continue. So how do you know that it's going to form this? Well, you pick up your calculator. Let me just show you. So let's start with where our x value is going to be 0. So you know that it's a sine graph, so it's sine of x. That's our graph that we're looking at. So you know how in grade 9 I've always taught you to substitute. Now, wherever this is basically an x-axis, right? So when the x-axis is a 90-degree or 0-degree, whatever point you want to use, you substitute it into there and you press your equal sign in the calculator. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm just going to step out of this. So put it in your calculator. You're going to say sine, and then let's choose sine of 0. And that is going to equal 0 degrees. So then we go back and we see that sine of 0 is 0. So we put 0 over there. We literally draw 0. Okay? Not draw 0, draw a dot by 0. Okay, let's have a look at sine 90. So if we start again and we say sine of 90, press equals, and we get 1. So then what happens? Sine of 90 equals 1. So when our x value is 90 degrees, then we are going to get 1 for our y value. I hope that makes sense, guys. Let's continue. So when our x value is 180, so let's do that. So in sine of 180, we press equals, then our y value is going to be 0. So let's check. So then we draw our at 180 we write 0, and you continue, guys. So how that is going to look is that if you can get out your calculators and you can follow along with me, let me use red, excuse me. So we saw that at 0 it is 0, at 90 it is 1, at 180 it is 0. If you put sine 270, you'll get -1. And if you put 360, sine 360, we'll get 0. Okay? And then you must also, because the question, or in this example, it's asking from -360, we also need to fill in if we're going this way. So you do the exact same thing. That should have a negative sign over here. I think it got lost over there. So let me just erase that quickly. Let's continue. So if we go backwards and we put -1, sine -90, put in your calculator, you'll get -1. And then if you put sine -180, you'll get 0. Sine -270, you'll get 1. And then sine of -360, you'll get 0. And then, guys, you just go and you join the dots, basically, which is probably my worst part of doing this. That is out. You should connect the dots. Oopsie. And then just make sure, guys, that when you are doing it, you don't form a straight line. So you're not going to go and say, okay, it's like this, it's like this, it's like this. Don't like make straight lines like that and then go down. That is not what it's looking for. You should have general curves, and then please make them straighter than I did. It's a bit more difficult on the Wacom that I'm using. That's not a shout out to Wacom, but yeah, it's a really good tool. Right, guys, so that comes to the end of the sine graph. I'm gonna be heading through, and you'll see that I've actually I'm gonna be making videos on the cos graph, and I'll show you how to draw that. And then we are gonna get stuck into what do these mean over here. Domain, range, period, and amplitude, as well as how do these things affect my graph. So with all of that being said, guys, that's a 10-minute video on the sine graph and a bit more information, and I'll see you in the next one when we do the cos graph.